So a couple years ago, the Steve Jobs Foundation or the Steve Jobs Archives released this book called "Make Something Wonderful." It's a compilation of Steve Jobs about Steve Jobs in his own words, or Steve Jobs in his own words. And so the book is a compilation of emails that he had sent out to people throughout the years. It is a compilation of speeches he had given, different you know, things that he had said or written. And it was just really, it's really interesting, one, to read first. I read a biography about Steve Jobs, and that's probably what most of us have exposure to, is like the Walter Isaacson um, biography, but then actually hear him, Steve Jobs, in his own words and see the emails that he sent to people. It's very, very cool. But there's a something in he had this practice, very cool. I recommend everybody do this. It's a form of journaling. This was before there was like a lot of really cool softwares out there for like Notion and Asana for taking notes and like retaining them. So what he would do is he would start an email chain, and he had an email chain where he would just send himself emails. And over the years, he would write himself these little notes, things that he was thinking about, and then he'd send himself the email, and boom, all that. And so they put all this together in a book called "Make Something Wonderful," and I think it's available for free. If you go to makesomethingwonderful.com or Steve Jobs Foundation, whatever, you can download it, and I highly recommend everybody read it. But there's one section in there, in particular, one letter or email that he had sent to himself, which was absolutely like it struck such a deep chord with me. I'm gonna butcher it, but the effect of it is he was realizing in that moment that he was the beneficiary in his life of all the things that somebody else before him had created. He reflected, he's like, I wear shirts that I did not make. I eat food that I did not grow. I sit on furniture that I did not build, right? Like everything around you came first from the imagination of somebody else. Like this microphone stand was born in the imagination of somebody else. It did not exist except for in their mind, and then they made it a reality. And everything around you, this man-made world, is a reflection of that. Everything you see outside of nature was born from the imagination and then the efforts of somebody else. And so we are, as a civilization, the beneficiaries of the imagination and effort that our forefathers put in, our foremothers. And he said something about the greatest gift you can give the world is to go and make something wonderful. It's the most beautiful expression of love that you can give for the future of humanity, for the people around you, is to go and make something wonderful, to contribute something of equal value as this microphone stand or this couch or that window, whatever the thing is. And he said, no time in life is wasted when spent in pursuit of making something wonderful. And so what prompted this was at the beginning, Anuj, when I sit down and I come into the room to record with Anuj, I always say, let's make some magic. And he just asked me, he's like, why magic? Like, what's the idea behind that? And for me, magic is just an extension of making something wonderful. It's like, how do we make because it is magical when you stop to consider the fact that this was born in the mind of somebody. Like it didn't like the iPad. Somebody thought of it first, and it had no basis in reality. And then, boom, it's here. It's a thing. It's crazy. It's magical. And if you don't think that process of transmuting the ephemeral thoughts floating through your mind into a physical reality, if you don't think that is the very definition of magic, whew, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, because that is, to me, that's abracadabra, motherfucker. Like, and I want that. Like, I want to make stuff that's wonderful. I want to make magic. I want to spend this time making something that could not have existed except for the efforts that I put in right now in this moment through my imagination and my effort. And so I don't know if this was wonderful. I don't know if this is magical, but hell, to me it is. So yeah, that's how the bacon's made. That's the trick.